Hey everyone, this is Albena from Bulgarian Mama Is Cooking, and in today's video I'm gonna show you how to make tart shells at home much better than the store-bought ones. Now if this is your first time making tart shells at home, then this video is definitely for you, so keep on watching. And as I love saying, put on those aprons, go in the kitchen, and let's get this started. Here is an exact list of ingredients and proportions, so check that one out. I'm gonna start by combining the egg yolk with somehow melted butter. I'm adding some maple syrup. However, if you prefer to use white sugar, definitely go for it. You can also use agave or honey, it's really up to you. I'm also gonna add some vanilla flavor. I love using vanilla flavor, but if you prefer to use vanilla powder, then go for it. And then with this spatula of mine, I'm gonna start mixing until I get this consistency. If you have a little bit of butter left, don't worry, this will dissolve as we add the flour. Now I'm gonna sieve this flour. It is important that you use cake flour if you have, because the consistency of the dough is gonna be much lighter and it's just better. However, if you don't have cake flour, all-purpose flour would do too. Flour's in, grab the spatula and start combining. As soon as this starts to form as a dough, then leave the spatula on the side and start using your hands. We're gonna knead this just a little bit. You don't want to overdo it because you will activate the gluten, and this is not the point here. We don't want this dough to rise at all, so just mix just until combined. And that's the reason why we don't add any baking powder or baking soda to this dough. We don't want it to rise, so do not activate the gluten. As soon as you have dough in your hands, form a disc and then saran wrap it. Move the dough to a fridge for about an hour. However, if you don't have an hour, 20 minutes would do too. Now this dough can definitely be used for a big tart shell or for mini tart shells. Now, if you don't happen to have the molds for the tarts, but you really want to make those, then you can use creme brulee dish. It works perfectly. If you don't have that too, you can definitely go ahead and use your muffin tray. Now, if you left your dough in the fridge for about an hour, then take it out and let it come down to room temperature for about 5 minutes before you start working it into the molds. So now I'm gonna start forming those shells into the molds. What I'm doing is grabbing a little ball from the dough and then I'm placing that inside the mold. I'm gonna use my fingers just like so to rotate the little mold just like so, and I'm gonna remove the excessive dough. And yes, you can use that dough to form another little ball for another tart shell. So now the thickness of this tart shell, it's really up to you. You can make it thicker or thinner depending on your personal preference. However, don't make it too thin because you still want this shell to hold something inside. Now if the molds are not too sharp around the edges like mine, you can use your fingers to remove the excessive dough. However, if they are very sharp on the edges like some are, you can definitely cut your fingers, so be careful. Use a knife and be safe. Now as soon as all the dough is divided between the molds or whichever you prefer to use, move that to a tray if needed and then move it to a fridge for about 20 minutes. This way you will allow the dough to set. Okay, so here I want to show you that I used a creme brulee dish for one of my tart shells and they actually turned out pretty good. Take your shells out of the fridge and move them to a preheated oven at 340 by Fahrenheit for about 15 to 20 minutes or until golden brown. Alright, so here's what I'm going to show you in my next video. I have this awesome chocolate cream cheese filling for your tart shells, so stay tuned. Thank you for watching and supporting Bulgarian Mama Is Cooking. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a big thumbs up. If you're interested in my content and you have not yet, then hit the subscribe button. Don't forget the bell so that you get notifications every time when I upload a new video. And I will talk to you very soon. Bye for now.